So guys, what we understood in last class was that, okay, yeah. So in last class, what we did, in the last class, we understood that we accept those projects where NPV is greater than 0, we accept them, and where NPV is less than 0, we reject those projects. Okay. Then we also discussed payback period and how discounted payback period is slightly better than payback period, but they are not as good as NPV. Then we started with IRR in the last class, and what we understood, we understood that if your IRR is greater than your discount rate of market, or maybe your cost of capital, whatever you want to call it, then we will accept the project. If IRR is less than cost of capital, then we'll reject it. Then we also identified a case where this rule will get reversed. If your cash flows are first positive, then negative, then negative, then negative, then this rule will get reversed. So this is next thing which we discussed in our previous class. Next thing which we discussed was that in case your cash flows are fluctuating, for example, you have a this is your maybe timeline. If this is your, maybe this is your timeline, and your first cash flow is maybe negative, then there is a positive cash flow, again there is a negative cash flow. So sign change is happening more than once, maybe negative and then maybe positive again. So a sign change for one time, two time, three times. So there are three sign changes. So what will happen when you will try to calculate IRR for this case? You will get multiple IRRs, multiple IRR. So which becomes a problem for us. Then how will we compare and decide? Then I told you that if you have multiple IRR, then there is a method to resolve this problem, and that method was modified IRR. So we calculate modified IRR, and then we make our decision whether to accept the project or to reject it. Okay. So this is what we did in our last class. Is there anybody in the class who would like to say, ask, or discuss anything about what we have done till now? Anyone in the class? Then I'll start with today's class. Anyone who would like to say, ask, or discuss anything in whatever we have done till now? Anyone? Any doubt? Okay. If that is the case, then we'll now move on, and we'll move on to today's class. Okay. So this is something which we did in our last class, and today we'll, yeah, okay. Okay. So guys, today we'll discuss conflict between NPV and IRR methods. So what is the meaning of conflict? So for example, I have a project A. Okay. So in my project A, what is happening that 0, 1. So in my project today, I am investing rupees 10. Okay. And I'm getting a cash of rupees 40 after 1 year. Great. Then I have got another project B. In project B, what is happening? Today I am investing maybe rupees 25, and after 1 year I am getting back from this rupees 65. Okay. So I want to know that which one is better. I mean, you can take it anything. Maybe you have got two options, and this option is opening a gym, and this option is maybe opening a what? Maybe a what? Maybe a bar. Okay. This is opening a bar. So if I plan to open a gym, so today maybe I'll invest 10 lakhs, and by end of the year I'll get 40 lakhs. If I'm opening a bar, today I have to invest 25 lakhs, and after 1 year I'll be getting 65 lakhs. So question is, how to decide what should I do? Should I open a gym or bar? So of course, first thing is that it's a case of mutually exclusive exclusive project. Why mutually exclusive? Because I had to make a decision that I can choose only one. I can choose only one of the projects. I can't go with both of them. Therefore, they are called mutually exclusive projects. Okay. So let us try to understand it with whatever we have understood in previous class. With that knowledge, let us try to make this decision. What should we do? So I'll do what? I'll calculate NPV. NPV is what? NPV is nothing but present value of discounted cash flows. So for example, my discount rate is maybe 25%. Okay. So I'll calculate NPV. How I'll do? Minus 10 plus 40 divided by 1.25. Okay. And what do I get? I get 22. Okay. Let us calculate NPV for this one. Minus 25 plus 65 divided by 1.25, and this is what we discussed in the previous class, right? How we discount the cash flows. In fact, you also had a good class, good long class with Meenakshi ma'am that about time value of money and discounting cash flows. So I'm using the nothing but same thing only. So I'm calculating net present value for all cash flows, and this comes out to be minus 25 plus 50 to 27. Okay. So NPV of gym is 22 lakhs and NPV, not NPA, NPV of bar is 27 lakhs. Which one should I choose? On the chat box, come on. Which one should I choose? Come on, guys. I should choose bar because as I told you, what is my decision rule? So wherever I'll be having higher NPV, I'll go with that. So going by this NPV method, my decision is that I should open a bar and not a gym. Okay. Now let us try to do same thing with IRR method. So IRR for gym is, so how do we calculate IRR? Basically, we make NPV is equal to 0 and we calculate that value of X. So 0 is equal to minus 10 plus 40 over 1 plus R, and my R comes out to be 300%. Okay. Let's calculate for this case also IRR. Again, 0 is equal to minus 25 plus 65 over 1 plus R, and my R comes out to be 160%. Okay. What was our rule? If there are two projects with IRR, which one should we choose? Lower IRR or higher IRR? Come on, guys, on the chat box. Lower or higher? If there are two projects, so what is IRR? IRR is internal rate of return of the project. So because higher the return, better it is for me. According to this rule, what should I do? Open a gym or open a bar? Come on, guys. Gym or bar as per IRR rule. As per IRR rule now, I should open a gym. And this is what is known as conflict between NPV and IRR. That one method is asking you to do something and another method is asking you to choose a different project. This is known as conflict between NPV and IRR. Everyone okay till now? Any doubt? Anyone who would like to say or discuss anything till now? This is okay with everybody? Okay, great. So now question is that when do we have this conflict? So we have conflict between NPV and IRR because of three issues. Number one is known as scale problem or magnitude problem. Number two reason is timing problem. Okay. And number 3 reason is life of project problem. So these are the 3 issues because of which there might be conflict between NPV and IRR. What is meaning of scale? What is meaning of scale problem? As we have just seen that in project A, I'm investing -10, I'm taking out +40. In project B, I'm investing 25 and I'm taking out +65. So the investment which I'm making, or the kind of cash flows which are involved, they are differing a lot. Because in the project B, I'm investing 2.5 times. In this case, I'm investing 25 lakhs. In project A, I'm investing only 10 lakhs. So this is the first cause of problem, and this is known as problem of scale or problem of management. What is timing problem? So if I have project A, okay, in project A, maybe I invest maybe 10 rupees. Okay, great. After 1 year, maybe 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. After 1 year, I get 10 rupees, then I get 1 rupee and maybe 2 rupees. Let us look at another project B. Again, I invest 10 rupees. After 1 year, I get 1, 1, 10. In this case also you will have a conflict between NPV and IRR. Why? Because of timing of cash flows. If you will see the project A, what is happening? You are getting positive cash flows early in the project. You are getting 10 at the end of year 1. While in the project B, you are getting this cash flows later in the project. So this is known as timing problem. Number 3, life of a project. So what does this mean? That for example, you okay. So you buy a machine. Okay, you buy a machine, and in this machine, what happens that you invest rupees 10, and then whatever you do, this machine gives you maybe 4 rupees, 6 rupees, 12 rupees, and so on. This is project A. Now in the project B, what happens that you invest maybe -10, then 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. So project B has a life of 6 years and not 3 years. So if there is a difference in life of the project, then also you will get the conflict. You might get, not will, you might get conflict between NPV and IRR. So guys, these are the 3 reasons because of which you get conflict in NPV and IRR. Okay. So any doubt till now? I think Ankit has to say something. Let us speak to Ankit. Yes, Ankit, speak up. हाँ अंकित बोलो.
Sir, please repeat timing problem issue.
Ankit Goyal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Wait a minute. Let me do something from my end. Guys, give me a second. Yes, Ankit, speak up now. Yeah.
Sir, can you please repeat timing problem?
Okay. So timing problem is what? I'll tell you, Ankit, once again. Timing problem is what? That maybe I open a gym. Okay.
Yes, sir.
In case of gym, what happens? Maybe I invest rupees 100. Okay. After first year, I get rupees 80. After second year, I get rupees maybe 20. After third year, maybe I get rupees 5. This is my gym. Okay. Then maybe I open a bar. In case of bar, I invest rupees 100. After first year, I get rupees 10. After second year, I get rupees 5. After 3, I get rupees 90. Do you see any difference between them?
Yes, sir.
In the bar, in the bar, I'm getting the cash flows later in the project. In the gym,
sir.
I'm getting these flows earlier in the project. So this is known as timing problem.
But sir, my issue is we can solve this by calculating IRR.
Okay, ठीक है.
So how is it timing problem, sir?
No. Okay. Wait. This first thing is this timing problem is for what? What I'm trying to tell you. I'm not telling you that this cannot be solved. I'm telling you something else.
Okay, sir.
Okay. You tell me when I'm saying that there are three problems: scale problem, time problem, and life of project problem. These are problems of what? You tell me, Ankit.
Sir, these are conflict between NPV and IRR. Means
हाँ, तो
where
ये वाले
in a single project we are getting NPV is higher, and in the second project we are getting IRR is higher. Then which one we should use? That is the conflict.
करेक्ट.
Yes,
ठीक
sir.
है, अब बताओ. अभी ठीक है, अभी क्या बोल रहे हो? नाउ कम बैक. टाइमिंग प्रॉब्लम में हाँ क्या करना है अब बताओ.
In timing problem we can calculate IRR or NPV. Then which one is greater? We should go for that.
लेकिन उसमें लेकिन कॉन्फ्लिक्ट आएगा ना. एनपीवी मतलब हाइपोथेटिकली एनपीवी का मेथड आपको क्या कहेगा कि तुम जिम चूज कर लो.
यस सर.
और आईआरआर का मेथड कहेगा तुम बार चूज कर लो. फिर कैसे डिसाइड करोगे?
Then sir, it is also incorporated in scale problem.
Of course, yes.
Okay.
कि जब ये तीन तरह की चीजें होंगी तब ये इशू आएगा कि तुम चूज नहीं कर पाओगे बिटवीन टू गिवन प्रोजेक्ट्स ए एंड बी या जिम और बार, जो भी उसको बोलना चाहते हो. आई एम टेलिंग यू कि ये वाला कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होता कब है. ये वाला कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होता कब है? इन तीन सर्कमस्टेंसेस में ये वाला कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो सकता है.
Then sir, my concern is this, that how the timing problem is different from scale problem.
ओके. स्केल प्रॉब्लम क्या बोलता है कि जो तुम्हारे कैश फ्लोज का जो मैग्नीट्यूड है, यहां हमने 10 रुपया लगाया, यहां हमने 25 रुपया लगाया, विच इज ऑलमोस्ट मोर देन डबल.
ओके सर.
स्केल प्रॉब्लम में ये वाला बात नहीं हो रहा है कि कैश फ्लो कितना जल्दी आया या कैश कितना बाद में आया.
ओके सर.
दिस इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस. इसको स्केल प्रॉब्लम या मैग्नीट्यूड प्रॉब्लम बोलते हैं.
ओके, आई गॉट इट सर, आई गॉट इट.
ठीक है. एनीवन एल्स? Come on guys, it's a very important question, very important concept जो almost हर एग्जाम में आता है कि एनपीवी आईआरआर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट हो रही है, सब चीजें. इसको ध्यान से नहीं समझोगे तो there is no point sitting here. You can switch off and go back. Anyone else who would like to say or discuss anything in whatever we have done till now? Anyone else? Just write on the chat box, I want to speak. Okay, I think let's speak to Shabiha Naj. Yeah, Shabiha, bolo. Shabiha Naj, speak up. So Shabiha, there is a green colored mic button. You have to click on that. So there is a green, yes, now speak up. अब आपकी आवाज आएगी हमें.
The life of project problem is not understanding.
ओके. लाइफ ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट का मतलब है अगर हम ऐसा करते हैं कि अभी तक हमने क्या किया, स्केल और टाइमिंग में क्या किया कि दोनों का टाइम सेम था, राइट. यहाँ 3 साल है तो यहाँ भी 3 साल है, यहाँ 1 साल है, यहाँ भी 1 साल है. लेकिन अगर तुम डिफरेंट लाइफ के डिफरेंट टाइम पीरियड के प्रोजेक्ट कंपेयर करोगे तब भी ये कॉन्फ्लिक्ट आ सकता है. जैसे यहाँ 3 साल लिया और यहाँ हमने 6 साल लिया है. इज दैट ओके? हेलो या सबिहा, हेलो. Okay, so guys, we'll move on now. Can everybody confirm on the chat box? Yes, understood. Everybody can confirm on the chat box that yes, understood till now. Okay, great. So these are the three regions of conflict between NPV and IRR. ठीक है, okay. So guys, इसके ना पीछे का let us understand कि ऐसा होता क्यों है. Okay. So in previous class I told you something about NPV profile. NPV profile क्या था कि y axis पे what do we plot? On the y axis we plot NPV, and on the x axis what do we plot? On the chat box, everyone, what do we plot on the x axis in case of NPV profile? On the x axis what do we plot? On the x axis we plot discount rate. Okay, so what we understood that NPV of a project, NPV of any project will keep on decreasing as discount rate will increase. And the point where NPV is 0 is known as IRR. This is something which is known as NPV profile. ये हमने पिछली क्लास में किया था. Okay, ठीक है. So let us come back now and let us see that maybe this is the cash flow. Maybe you have project A with so you invest minus 10,000 year 1, year 2, year 3. So what do we get? We get 10,000, maybe 1,000, and maybe 1,000. So this is my project A. Then I have a project B. B is what? I invest 10,000. Then after year 1, year 2, year 3, after year 1 I get 1,000. After year 2 again I get 1,000, and after year 3 what I get is 12,000 rupees. Okay, cool. So these are my two projects. Okay, of course this will have conflict in NPV and IRR. Why? Because this is a timing problem. In the project 1 I'm getting most of cash flows early in the project. In the project B I'm getting most of the cash flows later in the project. Therefore the conflict is likely to be occur. तो अभी हम लोग समझते क्या कि ये वाला conflict होता क्यों है. Let us understand it through a graph, through NPV profile. Okay, so if I draw a graph, okay, okay, so this is my what? NPV, and this is my what? Discount rate. Okay, now okay, so project A at the discount rate of 0, what will be value of A? If discount rate is 0, the value of A will be 2,000, right? Yeah, you can do it if you want. You can calculate NPV for this at 0 discount rate. You'll get value to be 2,000. So from 2,000 it starts. From 2,000 it starts, and maybe it goes like this. This is my project A. Okay. Now for project B, what will happen that what is NPV at the 0 discount rate? It is 4,000 rupees. You can calculate it if you want. So it will start from here and it will start going down, 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 and it will go like this. Okay. So what is, so this point is what? This point is, let me pick up another pen. Yeah. Yes. This point is IRR of A. Okay. And this point is what? IRR of B. Okay. So this means for which project IRR is higher? Come on guys, on the chat box. For which project IRR is higher? A, right? The value of IRR is higher for project A. So if we go by our simple logic, क्या होना चाहिए हमारा? कि because IRR A का ज़्यादा है, therefore because my IRR of A, let me write it this way. Because IRR of A is greater than IRR of B, so I will choose A. ठीक है, लेकिन अगर तुम हमारी पिछली क्लास को याद करोगे, सो व्हाट यू विल रिमेंबर दैट हम हर बार क्या करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, वी आर ट्राइंग टू मैक्सिमाइज एनपीवी ओनली. सो आईआरआर का रूल भी हमेशा शुड एग्री इन सच अ वे दैट माय एनपीवी इज मैक्सिमाइज्ड. ठीक है, लेकिन अब ये बताओ कि अगर हम लोग बिकॉज आईआरआर ऑफ ए इज ग्रेटर देन आईआरआर ऑफ बी, हम लोग प्रोजेक्ट ए चूज कर लेते हैं, तो क्या हमेशा ऐसा होता है कि एनपीवी इज हायर? लुक एट द ग्राफ. क्या is it true for every discount rate that NPV of A will NPV of A will be higher? No. अगर आप देखोगे, so हम लोग करना क्या चाहते हैं guys? Look at the graph. हम लोग करना क्या चाहते हैं? हम लोग we want to maximize the NPV, right? NPV is what? Discounted cash flows, पैसा, कैश फ्लो जिससे आएगा, राइट? प्रोजेक्ट में जिससे हमें पैसा आएगा, इट्स प्योरली कॉमन सेंस, राइट? किसमें हमारा इनकम होगा, किसमें हमें पैसा मिलेगा, दैट्स व्हाट वी ऑलवेज ट्राई टू चूज. सो एनपीवी, तो हम लोग चाहते हैं क्या कि हमेशा डिस्काउंट, किसी भी डिस्काउंट रेट पे हमें बस पैसा मिले, करेक्ट? दिस इज व्हाट वी वांट. तो इफ यू लुक एट द ग्राफ, हम लोग क्या चाहते हैं कि जब डिस्काउंट रेट यहां है तो मैं इसको चूज कर लूं, इसको चूज कर लूं, इसको कर लूं, ऐसे मैं करता रहूं, लेकिन यहां के बाद में यहां के, क्योंकि मुझे ज्यादा वाला एनपीवी चाहिए बस, चाहे मतलब कुछ भी हो. दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट. इट मींस व्हाट? इट मींस दैट दिस इज अ पॉइंट, राइट? मे बी दिस पॉइंट इज एक्स, एंड इसका मतलब है कि, एंड लेट अस कॉल इट पॉइंट एक्स टू बी क्रॉस ओवर रेट. ठीक है, इसको हम बोलते हैं क्रॉस ओवर रेट. ओके, इसका मतलब हम क्या चाहते हैं? वी वांट टू मैक्सिमाइज एनपीवी. ठीक है, मैक्सिमाइज एनपीवी कब होगा? जब अगर मेरा डिस्काउंट रेट इज ग्रेटर देन क्रॉस ओवर रेट, तब तो मैं चूज कर लूं बी. लेकिन जैसे ही माय डिस्काउंट रेट बिकम्स मोर देन क्रॉस ओवर रेट, फिर उस रेट पे मैं चूज कर लूं ए. दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट. यस और नो? यस और नो? कम ऑन गाइस, ऑन द चैट बॉक्स. यस, दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट, राइट? मुझे अपना एनपीवी मैक्सिमाइज करना है. देयरफॉर गाइस, जब एनपीवी आईआरआर का बात आता है, ठीक है, जब उसमें दोनों में कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होता है, जैसे मैंने अभी तुम लोगों को बताया, तो उस कॉन्फ्लिक्ट के केस में वी हैव टू लुक फॉर दैट क्रॉस ओवर रेट. अगर डिस्काउंट रेट उस क्रॉस ओवर रेट से कम है तो विल चूज वन प्रोजेक्ट, और जैसे ही डिस्काउंट रेट क्रॉस ओवर से ज्यादा होता है विल चूज द अनदर प्रोजेक्ट. This is how we resolve the conflict between NPV and IRR. So NPV is higher for project A when discount rates are higher, and NPV will be higher for project B when discount rates are lower than crossover rate. Crossover rate is the point where NPV is equal for both A and B. This is how we make our decision if there is a conflict between NPV and IRR. Is that okay? Any doubt, guys? Any doubt or understood? On the chat box, everyone. Anyone who would like to speak or discuss anything before I move on to next thing? Okay, let us go to Ankit. Yes, Ankit, speak up. Ankit, I have unmuted you. Please speak.
Yes, sir. Sir, it is correct that discount rate is less than crossover rate, then we should choose B, and discount rate is more than crossover rate, then choose A. Sir, how it is possible to switch over the project
नहीं
in
आप
between?
समझो डिस्काउंट रेट क्या है. प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड डिस्काउंट रेट. आपको डिस्काउंट रेट इज नॉट कि आप डिस्काउंट रेट बदलता जा रहा है. डिस्काउंट रेट तो कोई एक ही होगा ना. सी देयर इज अ वन रेट ओनली. सो बेसिकली व्हाट विल हैपन कि यू विल सी व्हाट इज द डिस्काउंट रेट. ठीक है. और अगर मे बी दिस वैल्यू इज मे बी if this is I think okay, if this is maybe 0, this is 5, this is 7, this is 9. I'm just marking some arbitrary values, right? Maybe 11,
Yes,
maybe. ठीक है. तो अब तुम्हारे पास दो प्रोजेक्ट हैं. ठीक है.
yes sir,
तुम्हारे दोनों के कैश फ्लोज हैं. करेक्ट. ये हमारा मे बी
yes sir,
हमारा मे बी जिम है. दिस इज माय बार. करेक्ट.
yes sir,
तुमने
yes sir,
दोनों के कैश फ्लो तुम्हारे सामने है. ठीक है.
yes sir,
अब तुम क्या करोगे. अब तुम देखोगे कि तुम्हारा डिस्काउंट रेट कितना है. यू विल फाइंड
yes sir,
you will see your discount rate, and I told you in the first class कि discount rate कैसे calculate होता है, right? Cost of capital and all those things, right? Remember
yes
that?
sir, yes sir,
तो तुम देखोगे कि आज के दिन what is the required rate? What is the required rate of return which I am looking for? अगर
yes,
going by these value, अगर मेरा required rate of return है, अगर मेरा 3, maybe मेरा 3 is my required rate, तो प्रोजेक्ट B चूज कर लूंगा मैं. अगर मेरा रिक्वायर्ड रेट 2 है तब भी मैं बी चूज करूंगा. अगर मेरा रिक्वायर्ड रेट ऑफ रिटर्न 6 है, 6, देन आई विल चूज व्हाट? आई विल चूज ए. 6 से अगर कितना भी ज्यादा है तो मैं ए. फिर देन आई विल डिसाइड टू ओपन अप अ जिम.
okay sir,
इज दैट ओके?
yes sir,
समझो डिस्काउंट रेट ऐसा नहीं है कि डिस्काउंट रेट बदल रहा है. इन रियलिटी डिस्काउंट रेट तो एक ही है. दैट इज सिंगल फिगर. What I'm
Yes,
trying
sir.
to do over here कि किस डिस्काउंट रेट पे क्या क्या हो रहा है. लेकिन
Okay, sir.
एक्चुअल डिस्काउंट रेट तो कोई एक ही है. करेक्ट.
yes sir,
Yeah. Anyone else? Come on guys. Anyone else in the class who would like to discuss or ask anything? Okay. So guys, the first way, what I told you, the first way of resolving the conflict between NPV and IRR is what? कि हम क्रॉसओवर रेट निकाल लेते हैं ग्राफ से. और क्रॉसओवर रेट कैसे आएगा? हम एनपीवी प्रोफाइल बना लेते हैं दोनों का, और जहां वो क्रॉस करेगा, एक प्रोजेक्ट उससे पहले वाले डिस्काउंट रेट के लिए एप्लीकेबल है, एक उसके बाद वाले के लिए है. जहां भी मेरा डिस्काउंट रेट लाइक करता है, आई विल चूज दैट प्रोजेक्ट. ओके. नाउ this is one method of resolving the conflict between NPV and IRR. Now, I want to tell you another method of resolving conflict between NPV and IRR. Okay, let us look at that. So this is the second method. Second method is what? Again, I come back to my original project. So I invest -10, I get 40 after a year. Project B, I invest -25 and I get 65 after a year. ठीक है. ग्रेट. सो मेरा प्रोजेक्ट ए है, प्रोजेक्ट बी है. इन दोनों में कॉन्फ्लिक्ट आएगा. ठीक है. यू कैन, हमने थोड़ी देर पहले कैलकुलेट किया, राइट? सो अब हमें रिजोल्व करना है कि कैसे, हाउ डू वी टेक दैट डिसीजन कि हम प्रोजेक्ट ए करें या हम लोग बी करें. ओके. सो गाइस, another method to resolve the conflict between NPV IR to make your decision is what? This method is known as method of incremental cash flows. INCREMENTL, incremental cash flows. ठीक है. तो ये वाला मेथड हमें क्या बोलता है कि हम we find the difference of cash flows. Difference of cash flows कैसे करना है कि जो whichever is the larger project, larger in terms of magnitude. ठीक है. तो A और B में कौन सा larger project है? A या B? B is larger, right? B में I am investing 25 rupees, I am getting 65. In A I am investing rupees 10 and getting rupees 40. Because B is larger, ठीक है. तो मैं क्या करता हूं? I calculate B minus A, cash flows of B minus A. Cash flows of B minus A. So I get an incremental timeline and cash flows. So minus 10, minus 25. So what I'm doing, I'm investing additional 15 rupees to get additional income of what? 65 minus 40, 25. So this becomes my incremental cash flows. This becomes my incremental cash flows. Again, I'll calculate my IRR. Okay. I'll calculate my IRR. Okay. And I can also calculate through NPV in fact. So now what will happen? Now it becomes very simple. In this case, if my IRR is greater than cost of capital, I will accept what? Accept larger project. So I'll accept B. Or you can, what you can also do, if NPV is greater than 0, I will accept larger project, which is project B. Okay? Or agar if this is less than 0, if IRR is less than 0, या फिर NPV is less than 0, then I will accept project A. This is known as method of incremental cash flows. And through this incremental cash flows, the IRR which you will get, this IRR is known as incremental IRR, or you can write IIRR. By the way, this value of incremental IRR will be nothing but equal to crossover rate in your previous graph, crossover rate. So crossover rate was what? Where the value of NPV was equal for NPV and IRR. So this is known as incremental IRR. So guys, this is how I make my decision whether to choose A or B if there is a conflict between two projects. Again, I'll repeat it once more for everybody. I look at my project A, I look at my project B, then I calculate my incremental cash flows. Okay. For this incremental cash flows, I calculate my IRR. If IRR is greater than cost of capital, I accept what? Bigger project. Because I did B minus A, therefore I accept B. If this is less than, sorry, not 0, cost of capital. Yeah, this is cost of capital over here. If this is less than cost of capital, I'll accept project A. This is how I make my decision whether to accept A or B in case there is conflict in the project. Is that okay, guys? So this is the method of incremental cash flows. When do we use it? We use this method whenever there is a conflict between NPV and IRR. Is that okay? Any doubt? Okay. Okay, before we move on, I also want to tell you that why there is conflict. Why there is conflict between NPV and IRR. So basically, guys, and this is very core to everything. So what do? We analyze the intermediate cash flows. We analyze intermediate cash flows. So guys, what happened? NPV does what? NPV assumes that intermediate cash flows are reinvested at what rate? Reinvested at what rate? Reinvested at rate of cost of capital. On the other hand, IRR assumes that intermediate cash flows are reinvested at rate of project internal rate of return. This is the reason why there is conflict between NPV and IRR. Okay. So again, this point is also very important that NPV method assumes what? NPV method assumes that intermediate cash flows are reinvested at cost of capital, while IRR assumes what? IRR assumes that intermediate cash flows are reinvested at rate of IRR. Okay. So any doubt till now? Yeah. I think we have to speak to Sabiha. Yeah, Sabiha, speak up.
Sir,
Yeah,
what was
Sabiha.
the last IRRR?
IRR. So it means the method of IRR assumes that intermediate cash flows are reinvested at the rate of internal rate of return, IRR.
Okay, internal rate of return. Okay, sir. Thank you.
So Sabia, the difference is that in NPV it is assumed that intermediate cash flows are being reinvested at rate of cost of capital, while in case of IR they are being reinvested at IR. This is the okay.
Okay,
Uh,
sir.
yeah, okay. So guys, let's move on to next thing now, that how do we compare when there are two projects with unequal lives? Unequal lives. So unequal lives, lives means what? That there are different lifetimes for the two given projects. Of course, this problem will come only when we have got mutually exclusive projects. Okay, because yeah, you are comparing two different projects. It is not like standalone or independent project. Okay, so let us assume that you are planning to buy a machine. Okay, and there are option of two machines. So we have got machine A and we have got machine B. Okay, very nice. So in case of machine A, what is the story? That you will how much will you pay for this machine? So the cost of machine A, 1, 2, 3, or yeah, 4, and maybe in this case again 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so in case of machine A, what is the story? That this machine will cost you 500 rupees, this machine B will cost you 600 rupees. In case of machine A, at the end of year 1 you will pay a maintenance cost of 120 rupees, then again 120, then again 120. In case of machine B, you will pay 100 rupees of maintenance, 100 rupees maintenance, 100 rupees maintenance, 100 rupees again for maintenance. Okay. So everything is you are paying. You are not getting any cash flow. You are just paying, right? Now the question is, which machine should we choose? Now we can't compare cash flows because the life of machine A is 3 years only. After 3 years, the machine, you have to discard machine A. But machine B will run for 4 years. Now, how will you compare them? Question is, how will you compare them? So this is a problem of comparing projects with unequal lives. Okay. So guys, how do we do them? So so of course, if we calculate NPV for machine A, and suppose your discount rate is maybe 10%. Okay, so how will you calculate? 500 plus 120 by 1 by 1, 120 by 1 by 1 square plus 120 1 by 1 cube, and this value will come out to be maybe 798 rupees. In case of machine B, 600 plus 100 or 1.1, 100 or 1.1 square, 100 over 1.1 cube plus 100 over 1.1 raised to power 4, and this value comes out to be 916. Okay, so can we decide which machine to choose? So the NPV of machine A is 798 rupees, NPV of machine B is 916. Of course, machine B is more costlier. Should we choose machine A? No, we can't make that decision, because this NPV, this cost of machine is for 3 years, and this cost of machine is for 4 years. So you can't compare them. That is where our problem is. So how do we resolve this problem? So there is a method which is known as, the method is known as equivalent annual cost method. Okay. So what this method says, what this method says is that you assume that for machine A 0, 1, 2, 3, you find the yearly cost. So for example, the yearly cost is and x, okay. So if we calculate NPV for this one, what this will become? This will become x by 1.1 square. I'm just calculating the discounted present values, right? Cube, and I equate this to 798. I calculate my value of x and it comes out to be 321. Similarly, for project B, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe this is y, and this will become y over 1.1 plus y over 1.1 square plus y over 1.1 cube plus y over 1.1 raised to power 4, and I equate it to 916. Again I calculate my y, and this will come out to be, I have it with me, 289. Okay. So guys, what I have done, now I have calculated the yearly cost of running these machines. I have equated everything to yearly cost of running this machine. So what I can understand from this analysis, that the cost of running machine A for 1 year is rupees 321. The cost of running machine B for 1 year is rupees 289. Because machine B per year cost is cheaper, therefore I'll choose machine B. Done. This is how I make my decision. Come on guys, any doubt? This is known as equivalent annual cost method. When do we use this method? This method is used when we are comparing two projects with unequal lives. Anyone in the class who would like to say or discuss anything? Come on. Okay. So guys, I'll move on to second method now. So there is another method of comparing projects with unequal lives. Okay, let me speak to Ankit Goel now. Yeah, Ankit, speak up. Ankit has some doubt. Yes, Ankit, speak up.
Sir,
Hmm.
in this previous example, we have not incorporated the initial cost of machine.
नहीं, we did that. हमने अंकित क्या किया है, हमने जब x लिया ना, and we did x by this, x by this, x by this, so we equated that with what? We equated that with NPV of entire project, right?
Okay, sir. Okay,
उसमें
sir.
जब हमने NPV कैलकुलेट किया तो कैश फ्लो एट टाइम इज इक्वल टू 0 भी था, करेक्ट?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So that
Yes, yes.
factor is also included.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
But
sir.
good, it's a good question. I mean, this should come to your mind. Okay. So now I'll move on to second method, guys. Second method of comparing projects with unequal lives. So this is my second method. What is the name of second method? It's very easy, by the way. It is known as replacement chain method. So this method says what? This method says that if maybe there is a project of yes, if there is a project A has cash flow 0, 1, 2, okay, 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, There is project B which has cash flows of 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, and there are some cash flows, so I should write cash flows actually. Yeah, so maybe this is 50, minus 50, 40, 30, 60. I'm randomly just writing anything. Yeah, maybe this is 60 and this is 20, 40, 10, 80. Okay, I have to compare project A and B. How do we do that? This method says is that we, first thing which we do, this project is for what? This is for 3 years. This is for 4 years. So I take LCM of 3 and 4, which is what? 12. I take LCM of 3 and 4, which is 12, and I extend this project up to 12. So what do I do? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Similarly, I extend this one also up to 12. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Then I do what? I just keep writing same cash flows. So minus 50, 40, 30, 60. So I write minus 50 over here, 40, 30, 60. Again write this way, minus 50, 40, 30, 60. Again minus 50, 40, 30, 60. Surely I'll keep repeating it. It becomes minus 60, 20, 40, 10, minus 60, 20, 40, here I have 20, 40, 10 and 4, 4, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes. So did I miss anything? I missed something, right? 20 minus 20, 40. Yeah, give me a second, guys. I'll write it again. Yeah. Minus 60, 20, 40, 10, minus 60, 20, 40, 10 and 80, minus 60, 20, 40, 10 and 80. Okay, so this becomes 10, this becomes 10, this becomes 10, this becomes 20, this becomes 20. So we extend the chain. Now both projects has got equal lives of 12 years, and now we calculate NPV and we get our answer. This is second method. This is second method of comparing two projects with unequal lives. Okay. Now on the chat box, if one project is of life of 8 years, another one is of 5 years, then what will be this timeline? One is 8 years, other is 5 years. On the chat box, come on. Their LCM 40, and you just keep repeating it. Understood? Now just calculate NPV and you can get the answer. Now you can compare both of them. So guys, what we did, we understood two methods of comparing projects with unequal lives. The method one was equivalent annual cost method, or maybe annuity method, and method two is what? Replacement chain method. If there is any doubt, please ask me right now. Come on. Any doubt till now? Okay, if that is the case, then maybe we can look at few questions. This one, the conflict in project ranking in capital budgeting, NPV and IRR may arise because of what? The conflict can be because of scale problem or magnitude problem or size problem or timing problem or life problem. So all three can be there. Correct answer is D. Okay, next one. Statement 1. Okay, read it, do it yourself. In general, the NPV and IR method lead to same acceptance or rejection decision when a single project is involved. Of course, yes, correct. The conflict arises only when there are multiple projects. I mean, there is no point there cannot be a conflict, right, between NPV and IR if there is a single project. So therefore, statement 1 is correct. Statement 2, the inconsistency in ranking of competing projects as per NPV and IR method lies in the implicit assumptions with regard to different rate of returns on the reinvestment of intermediate cash flows. Yes, this is also correct. And as I told you, NPV assumed that they are invested at the rate of cost of capital, while IRR assumes that they are reinvested at the rate of IRR. Therefore, statement 2 is also correct, and correct answer is what? A. Both statements are correct. Okay, third one. And do not disappoint me by giving wrong answer to this really easy question. Come on. I knew, Harshita, you will commit this mistake. Harshita, I knew you will commit this mistake. Your answer is wrong, and I know where the trap is. Chandana, wrong. Deepika, right. Others, come on, give it a try. Dipanshu, wrong. Ankit, right. And those who are wrong, they just didn't read the question carefully. Nothing else. Okay. The question says there are two mutually exclusive projects with different lives. Project A has life of 4 years, project B life of 5 years. So taking LCM of 4 and 5 is what? 20. So the timeline will be 20 years. So the project A is replicated how many times? 5 times, because 4, 4, 4, 4, 5 times. So project A is replicated 5 times and project B is replicated 4 times. Therefore, correct answer is A and not C. Understood, guys? He did not ask the total timeline. He is asking up to when you will replicate it. Okay. Correct answer is A. Let's move on now. Let us look at next thing, which is profitability index. It is next method of capital budgeting. Another name for profitability index is what? Benefit cost ratio. Okay. So what is profitability index? Profitability index is given by although some books will write it that present value of cash flows divided by initial investment. So I assume this is not a correct way. This is wrong. So the correct definition is the, what is correct definition? Correct definition is the present value of all cash inflows, present value of all cash outflows. This is my profitability index. For example, if I see that my project is 0, 1, 2, I'm investing minus 20, then I get 70, then I get maybe 10, and suppose my discount rate is 12%. So in the numerator, what I'll have? In the numerator, I'll have present value of all cash inflows. So 70 by 1.12 plus 10 by 1.12 square. And in the denominator, I have got 20 present value of all cash flows. And this value maybe comes out to be 3.5. Okay. So what is my rule? My rule is that if my profitability index is greater than 1, then accept. If my profitability index is less than 1, then I'll reject the project. So in this case, because 3.5 is greater than 1, so I will accept this project. This is how we calculate profitability index. So if there is a single project or an independent project, of course, this is how we can make our decision, accept or reject. What if there are mutually exclusive projects? There are two projects maybe mutually exclusive. Then what we'll do? Maybe A and B. So we calculate profitability index for A, profitability index for B, and which one is higher, we select that. Which one is higher, we select that. Okay, so profitability index is quite simple. Few more things about profitability index, guys, and although you will rarely need it from exam point of view. So profitability index there were problems between NPV and IRR. There are conflict, right? There are conflict between NPV and IRR because of three reasons, right? Scale problem, or time problem, right? Or life of project. Okay. Similarly, NPV and profitability index will also have problems. Problems means what? Conflict in decision making. Conflict in decision making because of same reasons only, which are scale problem and timing and all those things. Okay. Similarly, it will have same problems only between NPV and PI as well. So in this case, how did we resolve this problem? By method of incremental cash flows, right? I calculated IRR. Similarly, in this case, I calculate my incremental cash flows. Then I calculate PI for that. If PI is greater than 1, I accept, otherwise I reject. Everything is same, guys. Everything is same. So whatever issues we face between NPV and IRR, the same kind of issues are faced between NPV and profitability index. Is that okay? Anyone who would like to say or discuss anything? Although hardly any book will mention this conflict between NPV and PI, generally books will discuss only NPV and IRR conflict. That is like commonly asked rather than NPV and PI conflict. But fundamentally, everything will remain same if we are to resolve between conflict between NPV and PI. Okay. Next thing, guys. So another concept which is closely related to profitability index is the topic of another concept which is the topic of capital rationing. CAPITAL, capital rationing. So it means what? For example, you have got multiple projects now. You have maybe projects maybe A, B, C, D, E, F, and so on. Okay, and the cost of these projects is maybe you have to invest here 8 lakh, 5 lakh, 6 lakh, 3 lakh, 6 lakhs, and 7 lakh. Now what is happening that if you want to do all of these projects, how much money will it take? 35 lakhs, right? For example, I tell you that you have only 16 lakhs available with you. So now you can't do all the projects. So you have to make a choice that which one I should be doing. This is known as capital rationing. So generally all books will tell you what do we do? We calculate profitability index for all the projects. For example, it is 3.5, it is 4.2, 9.1, 1.2, and so on. And whichever projects are higher, whichever have higher profitability index, we choose them. Okay, but of course that is true. There's no problem with that. But capital rationing also means that you can also rank the project maybe based on their IRR. Okay, for example, it is offering 16%, it is offering 14%, it is offering 12%, it is offering 11%, and so on. So this is also capital rationing. you can also make your decision which projects to be selected based on like how you want to maximize your NPV. So you calculate NPV for all of them and then you make your decision. So what I'm trying to say, capital rationing problem is not solved only by profitability index, although most of the books will write that only. There can be other methods also. There can be mix and match methods also, maybe two methods also. You can also use linear programming to find out the optimal mix of projects. So there are many methods of doing capital rationing project. Okay, is that okay with everyone? That what is capital rationing? Any doubt, guys? Okay. Okay, now I want to tell you something else now. Okay. So I want to sum up actually. I want to tell you a few things about, because we have done multiple methods in last two classes. Okay. One thing is that just go through these points. They will help you in building the overall picture. If you are dealing with independent projects, if you are dealing with independent projects, then of course whether it is NPV, whether it is IRR, whether it is MIRR, or whether it is profitability index, they will give the same result. There will not be any conflict. Okay, but if you are dealing with mutually exclusive projects, but if we are dealing with mutually exclusive projects, and if you have issues of maybe scale or time, if you have issues of scale or time, then you are likely to have a conflict between. Now this conflict can be between NPV and IRR, and this conflict can also be between NPV and profitability index. If there is a conflict, what do? We use method of incremental IRR, which incremental cash flows. Based on these incremental cash flows, you calculate either incremental IRR, or you can also calculate incremental PI, and then you make your decision. Then what else? What else did we learn, guys? Then we also understood that if you have cash flows like this, plus, minus, plus, and so on, then you will have multiple IRR. If you have multiple IRR, what you will do? You will take care of this problem by using the method of modified IRR, which is MIRR. Okay. Then what else? What else did we learn? Yes. So discounted. So there is a payback period method, right? So there is a method of payback period. Then we have a method of discounted payback period. And so discounted payback period is better than payback period, but it is not as good as NPV. Okay, it has got two problems. Problem one is what? It doesn't consider time value of money. Problem two is what? It doesn't consider cash flows beyond cutoff period. We did this in last class. Discounted payback period what? Yes, it consider time value of money, no, not an issue, but the second issue still remains, which is what? It doesn't consider cash flows beyond cutoff period. NPV will take care of both these issues, and therefore NPV is a better method. Then what? Okay, sometime back I told you that your PI is what? Present value of cash inflows divided by present value of cash outflows, and your NPV is what? NPV is what? Net present value. So of course, wherever profitability is, index is 1, at that point your NPV will become what? 0. So wherever PI is equal to 1, at that point your NPV will become 0. What else, guys? Yeah. So this is what this is summary of different methods, and let us look at few questions to move further. Yeah. Come on, guys. A profitability index of 0.80 for a project means what? So profitability index is what? It is present value of all cash inflows divided by present value of cash outflows. So project cash outlays are less than present value of cash flows. Of course, no, not. Project NPV is greater than 0. Project NPV is no, of course. In fact, it is less than 0. Why? Because PI is less than 1. Third, project NPV is greater than 1. We can't say. Actually, the 1 comes in picture only with PI. The project returns 80% in present value of yield current dollar invested. Yes, this is correct. So the money which I'm investing, out of that money, I'm getting return of 80% of that. That is why NPV will be less than 0. Next one. Which of the following is incorrect regarding a normal project? So what is a normal project, guys? First thing, normal project is where, so if we have a positive, negative, 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 or if we have a negative, positive, positive, positive cash flows, this is known as normal project. What is a non-normal project or abnormal project, whatever you want to call it? It is plus, minus, plus, minus. So where the sign changes are happening, that is non-normal cash flows. So let us look at these options one by one. First one, if NPV of a project is greater than 0, its PI will exceed 1. Of course, yes, it will happen, correct? As I told you some time back, wherever NPV, wherever PI is equal to 1 means that NPV is greater than 0. Sorry, NPV is equal to 0. Because PI is greater than 1, NPV will be greater than 0. Next one, if IRR of project is 8%, its NPV at a discount rate greater than 8% will be less than 0. What will happen? Because my IRR is 8%, okay, let us look at second option, guys. My IRR is 8%, and it says that my discount rate is greater than IRR, correct? Discount rate K is greater than IRR. So I am not making good money because my internal rate is less than discount rate. Then of course my NPV will become less than 0, and therefore second is also right. Third one, if PI of a project is 0, then project initial cash flow is equal to, so PI is equal to 0 doesn't make any sense, by the way. PI is equal to 0 means that there is no cash which you are getting. You are just investing. So so of course third is wrong. Fourth one is what? If IRR of project is greater than discount rate K, PI will be greater than 1. So IRR is greater than discount rate. It means PI will be greater than 1, of course true. And PV will also be greater than 0. Both things will happen. Therefore, D is also true and only C is incorrect. Correct answer is C. Yes, guys, any doubt on any of the options? Come on. Okay, let's move on now. Which of the following is the best tool for evaluating projects? Again, this is not a very good question, but I have included it because you will find it in so many books, and sometimes stupid questions are asked in the exam. So if you are given something like this, then NPV is always the best method for everything. NPV is free of all conflicts, all issues and everything. Yeah, this one guys, come on. If capital rationing limits the investment in all positive NP projects, the manager should do what? Come on, take a minute and do it. If capital rationing limits the investment in all positive NPs, the manager should do what? Accept all positive NPV project? No. Why? Because it's a capital rationing. You can't accept. There is a limit, right? Accept the projects in order of largest to smallest, of course not. Okay. Accept all projects under consideration within limits of capital budgeting. No. Not all the projects. Accept the combination of projects within the capital budget that maximizes NPV. Yeah. So this is another method. This is one method of capital rationing, as I told you. Therefore, this is correct. So you can do capital rationing by what? By arranging them in smaller, largest to smallest order of PI. You can also arrange them in maybe IRR. You can also maybe arrange them in such a way that you maximize NPV and so on. So there are many methods with which you can do capital rationing. Okay. So guys, I told you everything and we are done with the class except one last thing, which is not a very good method, which is known as accounting rate of return, or sometimes it is also written as average accounting rate of return. So I'll tell you that and then we'll wind up. So accounting rate of return is what? It is average net income divided by average book value. So one fundamental and key difference in this method is that in all the methods of capital budgeting, we consider cash flows. But in this method, we consider accounting income or book value. There is difference between book value and actual cash flows, right? So this is the one major difference between all other methods and this one. So I'll tell you with some example how we do. For example, we invest maybe 2 lakh rupees. We invest 2 lakh rupees, okay, and so we invest something. Maybe we invest in a machine or something, or maybe we invest in a zero, and my final values maybe it will become zero after, and this project is of 5 years, so I'll keep getting some money for how much time? Maybe 5 years. So year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4 and year 5. So the final value will become 0 after 5 years. Okay. So what do we have, guys? We have sale. Out of sale we reduce some expense. Then we also reduce some maybe depreciation. Your accounting teacher will tell you all these things. Then you will get what? Earning before taxes. Then you reduce your taxes. Then you get EBIT or your net income. So your net income may be hypothetically after year 1 is 6,000 rupees, 24,000 rupees after year 2, 48,000 after year 3, 18,000 after year 4, and minus 6,000 after year 5. This is your net income, yearly net income or EBIT you can say. Okay. So what do we need in the numerator? In the numerator we need average net income. So average net income is what? We add all of them. So we calculate average net income. How do we calculate? I add all of them. I add up all of them. I get 90,000. I divide by 5 number of years and I get 18,000. Okay. Then I also do average book value. So initial value was 2,000 rupees, finally 0, straight line depreciation. Maybe if there is some scrap value, we can use that. I'll consider that my final book value is 0. So what is average book value? Average book value will be 2 lakh minus 0 and I divide by 2, not 5. Mind it, guys. So this becomes 1 lakh. So now let's come back. Let's calculate our AAR, which is average net income was 18,000. Average book value was 1 lakh. So I get my AAR for this project is 18%. Please again mind it. This depends upon accounting income and not actual cash flows. So Ankit is asking, why do we divide by 2? That is how we calculate. The value after considering depreciation. So accounting teacher will teach you, Ankit, in detail how do we depreciate and find the average book value. But for now, you can consider that it is average value between initial and final value, which is 2 lakh and 0. So we calculate average of that. Okay, so guys, I'm done with the class. Is there anything which you want to ask or discuss? Come on. From the topic of capital budgeting. So what we covered this thing actually. Yes, this is what we covered. Yeah. Anything which you want to ask, please speak up. Another thing, whatever I have told you in the class, this is more than sufficient for your exam. Do not worry about anything else. If needed, look at this video once again and then only go back to your books or whichever sources are you referring to. You will find things to be quite easier if you do that. Okay, come on guys, anything you want to ask? Just write on the chat box, I want to speak, and I'll give you the mic. I have tried to teach you everything like a story only, how like one method, how a method evolves from another one, how it takes care of problems of earlier method and so on. I hope you understood it. Anything else which you want to ask, discuss? So Ankit has a doubt. Let me speak to Ankit. Yeah. Yes, Ankit, speak up. Ankit. Yes, Ankit, speak up.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Ankit, speak up.
Sir, financial management is completed, sir. Course of financial management.
Of course not. There are so many topics still left. We haven't done even 20% of it, Ankit.
Okay, sir.
Everything is left. Valuation of bonds, valuation of stocks, dividend theory, cost of capital, leverage, working capital management, international FM, derivatives, everything is left. Okay, so I think
Okay,
Sabiha has to say something. Yeah, Sabiha, speak up. Sabiha.
Sir, hello.
Yeah, Sabiha, speak up.
Sir, can you please explain something about IR? Actually, this is my first class.
Okay, so Sabiha, I'll tell you, but do one thing. After this class, look at recorded video of previous class. Okay, that would be available by now. Because just knowing IR will not help you. You need to know the entire story about NPV, IRR and everything. Okay. So Sabiha, IRR is that rate. IRR is that rate which makes your NPV equal to 0. IRR is that rate which makes your NPV equal to 0. IRR is that discount rate which makes your, so if you, and again you have to look at this class only to understand everything in detail. So if we plot your NPV against discount rate, okay, your graph will be, because your NPV values will keep getting lower as your discount rate increases. keep getting lower as discount rate increases. So this point where your NPV is equal to 0, at this point rate, your discount rate is nothing but IRR. So why do we need IRR, Sabiha? We calculate IRR for our project and then we make our decision whether to select a given project or not. So if my IRR is, if my IRR is greater than discount rate, I accept the project. If my IRR is less than discount rate, I do not accept my project. You can also make out same by looking at this graph, right? We want NPV to be positive, right? So we want to lie in this area only. We don't want to go here, right? We don't want to go here, right? No. And in this area, if you'll see, this is the area in which your IRR point is greater than all values of discount rate. Look at previous class, okay? Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Okay, guys, all the best. Thank you so much.